Okay, great. Let's go on then to verse 11.
Rabbi, I will read.
Okay, read on.
Can I go?
Oh, Tom
Can I
beat you
read?
to it. You can read the next one, Ate. Tom right now, and Ate, you do number 12, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Iraita basibya eset ipat toar bikasakta ba bilakakta leisha.
Great. Great. Okay, so now together, let's everybody translate this. V'ra'ita. What's happening here? What is v'ra'ita? V'ra'ita? Somebody knows?
You saw
It's Re'eh. Is it
what you
from
saw.
What?
What you saw from Re'era.
Okay, good. And
What
the
you
vav.
saw.
The
What
vav,
you will see.
right?
What you will see.
Okay, good. So vav,
And you will see.
and you will see, right? Now vav, you're right. It can mean and. What else can vav mean?
Then. But
Then. But. Anything else? If. And when. There's lots of stuff. Alright? And of course here it's also vav conversive, right? So, Ra'ita, by the way, Doc, notice this verb you're asking about, shavita. You see that yod that came in there? Notice the same thing is happening over here with Ra'ita. But it's not hifil, it's not you cause to see. Right? This is a characteristic of lamed hay verbs. Right? So verbs that end in a hay, oftentimes a yod comes in there, okay?
Great, great.
Yeah. Okay. So Ra'ita, you will see, right? It was perfect, but the vav changed the time and made it future. So when or if you will see, I'd probably say if you will see, bashivya. What's bashivya?
in
Yeah.
the captivity,
In probably
in
among.
her
I'm
captivity,
probably going to say among the captive. Right, the captive.
among the
Right?
captive.
And this is actually it's being presented as a it's being presented here actually as what we would call a common plural noun. Like so, for example, you might have how do I express this? You might have a sometimes we have a noun that expresses a plural concept, but it can be singular. So this can mean like among the captives, right? Among the captives, even though it looks like a singular. You understand what I'm saying? Like we sometimes have a noun that represents plural things, but the noun looks singular, right? Like we have this. I can't remember the technical term. Anyway, so that's what this is. So ba in the, like you said, that's fine, or among the captives. Okay, what's he going to see? Eishit yefat to'ar. Eishit yefat to'ar. So we're going to do the Naomi
This Asian,
sign. Go ahead.
this Asian with valor.
Okay, that's very nice. Your mind is connecting to Mishlei, to Proverbs. That's right. We have the Eshet Chayal Mi Yimtza Verachok Mipanim Michra Batach Balev Bala V'Shala Lo Yechsar. Yeah, so the Eshet Chayal, the woman of valor. You're right. So it's the same word. So Eshet, turns out, this is the construct form of Isha. I don't know if you'll see the dagesh in there. Isha. So Isha becomes Eishit, okay? So you just have to know that that's the form with all the weird vowel changes and everything. So notice I did the Naomi method of marking construct change, a blue box. So here we have a pretty big construct chain. Eishit Yefat To'ar. Okay? So a woman of Yefat To'ar. So this is from Yefa, or Yafa, the adjective Yafa. Yafa had a pretonic comments. So here, maybe I'll write it out for you here. Let me. So Yafa means beautiful. Yafa. Yafa. Right? A guy in Israel sees a girl walk by. Oh, yafa. Okay, so yafa. But since we have the makaf, we know that the accent has transferred. Right? This is our accent, the etnachta. So since the accent moves, something's happened. Here we have a pre-tonic comments. That changes to schwa. And here we have the tonic comments, and that was reduced to the short patach. So if you'll remember, for A-class vowels, the long vowel is comments, and the short vowel is patach. And of course, the half vowel is chataf patach. So as we move from left to right, that's the reduction, okay? As we get shorter and shorter and shorter. And these things are not always scientific. This is a good rule of thumb. You can think of it like that. Okay? Let me just check, make sure I'm not ignoring chats. Okay, great. Okay, so literally this is a woman of beauty of to'ar. To'ar means form, right? So it's like beautiful of form, right? So she's beautiful all over. Her face is pretty, her shape is nice, the to'ar, etc. Right? So it's saying, so if you see among the captives, so we're probably going to go with if here, if, because it's not guaranteed, right? We're not saying it's going to necessarily be when. Okay? Although a lot of people, if you just want to be mechanical, you can just say and. That's fine. You'll figure it out in English. A woman who is fine, the chashakta, va. Okay? The chashakta. What does that mean? Again, don't look at your Bibles. Don't look at your English Bibles. We're working it as we go. We are weaning the poison of translation out of you, right? So that you will depend on the text, not on what these interpretive translations, sometimes creative, say. Right? So the, that's okay, and or another if. Chashakta.
Rabbi, I remember the phrase "Kivik chashak" in Psalm 91. Kivik chashak.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Yeah. Yep. So go ahead, Yomer. Why don't you help him out then? The chashakta. How would you translate chashakta here?
Chashak is, I think it's setting. I don't. Setting is love. I think.
You're right. It's related to that, right? So
It is.
chashak.
It's different from Kazakh.
Oh yeah, different. Yep. So chashak. Excuse me. So chashak literally means like to be attached to, right? And it can also have this meaning of, I think it means like hug. Sometimes it can mean to hug, like to embrace, right? But it's not saying and you embrace her, right? So the idea is like he's got feelings for her already, right? He's wowed by her. The chashakta, right? You're attached to her, right? Okay, and let's see. And it can have the more deep meaning of love as well, right? But how does he love her? He just saw her. So I think it's a little bit silly to translate it as in you love her already, but technically that's possible for it to mean that. So maybe I'm applying Western notions to the text. Maybe it does mean love. And you love her, and you are attached to her. Attached to, sorry, ba, right? Or va. So you guys see the va? Sorry, I need to...
Attached to her.
Yes. Hold on, I need to kill my my chat program. It's making noises. I'm afraid it might be disturbing. Just one moment. I was leaving it open in case something important, but I forgot I shared the computer audio with you guys, so you're hearing those notifications too. And Telegram is now... It doesn't want to go away. There we go, he's gone. Okay, great. Yep, so attach good to her, right? So...
Yeah, excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also the same word in Psalms 91, where you say, because he has loved me. The love there is not a have, but kashak also means to be attached to.
Very nice. Very nice. You guys got that in Psalm 91, you said, right?
Yep.
The one about he dwells in the Most High, the shadow of his wings. Yeah, great. Nice. Good point, Doctor.
Yes, that's right.
So you guys see, this is wonderful. I love how you guys are starting to connect the text. It's really great. And the deeper you go in the Hebrew, you're going to see those connections as well. And what's great about, again, I hope you guys are noticing, what's great about now that you're in the Hebrew language, beyond just getting the right translation and all that kind of stuff, there's connections that you'll notice. The rabbis call this gezerah shava, a gezerah shava. We have a linguistic connection from one verse to another. And the sages teach, Chazal, they teach that when you have a linguistic use of the same words, that oftentimes there's a connection between that text, like a spiritual connection. You can tie them together in a drash, for example, in a teaching or in a study. Like, why are they using the same words? Especially if it's a word which is less frequently known, less frequently used. In the case of chashak instead of ahav, right? So that's, or even chavav. Another word we have for love, which is probably more often used than chashak, is chavav. Maybe I'll just write that since it's kind of interesting. Chavav. Yeah, I'll write it in the lower right here. Chavav also means to love. Chavav. So we've got chashak, ahav, and chavav. In fact, who knows the name of Moses's third father-in-law? Yeah, let me ask the question first. It's not Jeopardy. That's right. Moses' third father-in-law is Chovev, right? Or Chovav, right? So it's from the name of that guy. It's not a Hebrew name. He's not a Hebrew, right? But he's the son of Reuel, the Midianite, right? So it seems Moses got Reuel's daughter, and he also got his granddaughter. Took both of them. So there's Chobab, and so Chobab, his name in Semitic languages has this idea of beloved, right? So you could see the mother holding him. He's a little baby. Oh, beloved, love, so little love. And so she gives him that name, right? And so, and actually, if you think about it, do you remember Benjamin Netanyahu? What do we call him? What's his nickname in Israel?
Bibi.
Habibi, exactly, right?
Bibi.
Beloved,
Bibi.
which comes from Aramaic and then into Arabic. They have the same Habibi. Israelis love to use Arabic words as slang, so it's kind of funny. So, Habibi, beloved. Okay, great. So it actually should be like Habibi. Okay, so Ba. So he feels himself. You feel yourself attached to her. V'lekachta lecha leisha. Okay, so what's the v'lekachta? By the way, good answer. Whoever said that, but while I was still asking the question, I didn't recognize the voice.
And you take her
Yep, and you take her, lecha.
for yourself.
For yourself. Yep, okay. Leisha.
As your wife.
Yep.
Or a
Yep, for a wife. Yep. And you'll notice, we're always talking about the context, right? How the words, they really, in Hebrew, so much, have different nuanced meanings depending on the context, right? So the word Isha just means woman, right? We really don't have a separate word for wife in Hebrew. But the context makes it very clear. She's already a woman, so what does it mean to take her for yourself for a woman? Obviously, it's as Naomi translated, for a wife, right? So we understand from context that English demands wife in this understanding. And you could even argue that there's an idiomatic expression. Let me change colors here. That lakach leisha means to marry. So you could even be a bit more dynamic in your translation and say, marry her, right? Plus, it sounds less caveman-y. You take her for wife, for woman. Come on, we got to clean it up in English, otherwise it sounds strange. It's normal to the Hebrew mindset sounding, but to the Western mindset, it might sound a bit off. Okay. Any
Rabbi,
other? Yes.
comment?
Yes, Tom.
Rabbi, concerning verse 10 and 11, that the Israeli soldiers,
Yes.
when they captured Goyim, that's a Goyim, no?
Yes.
Goyim,
Yeah,
man.
she's a Goya. Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Yeah, Goya.
Yep.
Not other nations. They are very cruel. they can do whatever they want.
Oh, of course.
But
It's immediate
in-
rape. You know,
But
like Islamic nations.
last week what discussed, yeah, last week Moses appointed the elders like Sanhedrin.
Yes.
My comments here that an Israeli soldier, according to Rabbi Rashi and Rabbi Ramban, the soldier must respect the woman, not to
Yes.
molest her.
Yes. Very correct. He can't kiss
She
her.
must
or
bring to
something.
the judges.
Right.
Yeah, yes, Rabbi.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's right. Nice comment. Nice comment, Achi. Yeah, and you know, like you mentioned about the other nations, and some people might think, oh, the pagan nations, even Islamic nations. You know, the Quran itself details the Prophet Muhammad raping women after they had a successful raid against the Christians or the Jews. They'll capture some of them, and then they'll do their raping. You know, and so like it's allowed. So that's a good point that the ethics of the God of Israel are very different. Some people, they're put off in the West when they read this verse. What? He's like capturing her and forcing her to marry him. And we have to remember, first of all, the time they're in. And she has a soul that's going to hell, right? This is a pagan woman, right? And so what's happening here is a chance for her to join the nation of Israel, right? To come over to monotheism. All right? So, and the reason, what we're going to see there, she's given a period to mourn her family, to mourn her kinsmen. We'll deal with in the verses to come, and he's not, like you said, to molest her. He's not supposed to touch her in this time, right? He's supposed to let her be in these 30 days, and at the end he'll decide, am I really going to marry this woman? Ibn Ezra comments that it's to give her time to turn away from her idolatry, right? To get the idolatrous prayers off of her lips, right? And all this other stuff, to get her acclimated, and she's becoming accustomed with the kingdom culture, right? The one God, the God of Israel, and all this stuff, right? Presumably, the sages even think that if he decides he doesn't want her, that she's not to be sent back to her father's house, even if he is alive. And the sages, they comment on this. It's very interesting. They comment that it's because we do not want her, even if she doesn't marry this guy, we don't want her to go back to paganism. We want her to remain a monotheist. And so if she hangs around as a gerah, then maybe another son of Israel will see her and like her and take her, and they can have a good monotheist family. Yeah, so very nice. Okay, any other comments or questions? Good comment, Tom. All right, let's go to the next verse. There's another comment that's a bit interesting. Rashi adds to that what we were just talking about. Let me go back. Rashi adds that that in his opinion, this is Hashem understanding that there are human urges as well, and so that if they didn't have this protocol, that the men, after the adrenaline's running in war, they might be more tempted to abuse her, right? You know, to just do something to her. But when they have this protocol understanding, there's a way to make her yours, which is less cruel, right, than what happens in warfare. In warfare, it's so common, right? Rape and these sorts of things, so common, these horrible actions against women. So the Torah is actually having mercy on her by making this possibility for the guy to marry her. And also underscoring that you should marry her first. You should lakach, you should take her before. So it's kind of like a merciful way of dealing with this person who just lost her father, presumably, depending on his age, and her brothers. Okay, yeah, let's do the next one.